Okay, everyone, welcome back to another exhilarating episode of FAFO. You know, it continues. I said I was going to come back and start putting some videos up. And, well, hey, why the hell not? Why not do it now? No time like the present. I was watching this alone upstairs and whatnot, and I was just chilling. And I was like, I have to do a video on this right now. Get this out of the way. So I couldn't help it. Gotta go do some work, you know. 2 videos in one day. Hey, yeah, because I put up the my rant for wrestling because I love talking about wrestling as well. It's up there. Y'all can see it on the page as well. Just go to ANT Talk Podcast, AT Talk Podcast. You'll see our name and lovely face up there. Me and my wife. So I said, well, let's go ahead and start doing that, shall we? So I'm going to go ahead and get started with this video so you guys can listen into it, watch it right along with me, and I can react to it.
Breaking news, MAGA civil war is taking place on social media right now. I guess the FAFO is still in full effect.
The girls are fighting, guys. Before we get into it, welcome to my FAFO series where Trump supporters app around and find out. It's literally the day after Christmas, and I'm catching whiplash from the messiness happening with MAGA. At this point, I'm not convinced that any of these people spent any actual time with their families this holiday season. Does anyone remember when MAGA tried to sell Donald Trump as the peace candidate? I'm dead. Some MAGA voters are upset at Trump's rambling and unhinged Christmas message, which targeted Canada, Panama, and Greenland. Even Trump supporters are stunned we can't get a day off from his mess, even on...
Now, about that. So, as you can easily see, he's doing this, and for what reason, I'll let you guys know. See, the thing is, it's all about, like, real truthfully, it's all about a distraction. It's a distraction. Right now, if we pay attention to what she's going to bring up on here as well, the fact that Trump ran on the fact that if you vote for him, the cost of groceries will be down and whatnot. He said that and talked about grocery prices and how he will make them cheaper. And now all of a sudden, he's backpedaling out of it, saying he can't do it. It's too hard. And if you watch the Meet the Press interview, he said he can't guarantee tomorrow. Can't guarantee anything. Can't guarantee tomorrow. Literally words out of his mouth. What are you going to, like, for real, you saying this yet? How can you believe this? How can you believe this man saying this stuff out of his mouth and you're expecting for us to believe him? When he said that he was running on groceries being cheaper? You ran on groceries being cheaper. You said a vote for you would be a vote for your groceries be cheaper. I actually had the video. I got a video. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Go ahead and show you guys this. He literally said it. Here you go. Right here. Just play it for you.
It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking.
Oops. Go back to that. Let me go ahead and stop that right there for you. And move that off so I can get that back up there for you.
Hey, vote for Trump, me.
There you go. So you guys can see it directly.
We've got now a worldwide.
No, there you go.
A vote for Trump means
Because I want to make sure y'all guys hear it directly. Sorry, I had to fix everything up right there so you can see it with your own two eyes.
means your groceries will be cheaper. It'll also bring your
There
grocery
you go.
bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything.
You hearing it? Right out of his damn mouth, right? A vote for me is a vote for your groceries to be cheaper. And he going on.
You eat, the stomach is speaking. It always does. And I have more complaints about that bacon and things going up double, triple, quadruple. I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time. I'm going to take them back with me. Bacon is through the roof. They're all through the roof. The milk, everything is bad. And we're going to straighten it out. We're going to bring prices way down. And we're going to get it done fast.
Now, Trump tells Time magazine that while he wants to make groceries cheaper, it's, quote, hard to bring things down once they're up. You know, it's very hard.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper.
Had to do it again. Had to do it again. A vote for Trump is a vote for your groceries to be cheaper. A vote for Trump is a vote for your groceries to be cheaper. But all of a sudden now, not so much, right?
And on Christmas. In his ramblings, he's advocating for annexing our allies and targeting other countries around the world. You can totally tell President-elect Musk and Donald Trump are those guys who make everyone stay late in the office so they can avoid their families at all costs. Because, like, what are you doing? It's Christmas, you lames. And Trumpers are expressing their discontent online. Can he not just wait until after Christmas to make posts like this? Dude, it's okay to just say Merry Christmas and leave it at that, just this one day. Amen to that. There are better times than Christmas Day for posting one troll post after another. Why did he type this on Christmas, man? They then go on to say, it's a holiday, and he used the birth of Jesus Christ of Nazareth for an easy flip at owning the libs. Is it that hard to say Merry Christmas to all and may God bless you all? I guess my biggest question here is, when would you think that a convicted felon and rapist was ever going to put humanity's needs over his own? Sometimes I do wonder if conservatives understand that just because words come out of somebody's mouth, you don't have to believe them. It's not as grand sounding as conquering Canada, but how about we keep our military at home and work on paying off the $36 trillion in national debt?
Oh, you hear that? You hear that? Why can't we, keep our military home and work on paying off our debt? Oh, you didn't know that conservatives, and especially Donald Trump, doesn't want that? He wants to balloon the debt. Why do you think he wants to get rid of the debt ceiling? He wants to get rid of the debt ceiling so you jerk-offs won't find out that he just funneling money, infinite money, to his rich billionaire friends. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. This is what MAGA does. This is what Trump does. This is what Republicans do. He ballooned the deficit to about $8 trillion? And what did you get for it? A one-time stimulus check of $1,200, and you voting for Donald Trump to try to get that stimulus check again. But when everybody says, "Oh, you want a stimulus check like that? Man, we can give you $1,000 every two weeks, $2,000 a month for the rest of your life." Oh no, don't do that. That's socialism. That's socialism. That's socialism. No. Communism, boogeyman communism. Like, for real. Why y'all acting like Trump gave you money and now you got to give him his vote to hope to get some money when the Democrats try to give you money? It's like, oh, no, we don't want the money. That's stupid, bro.
That's hilarious considering Trump blew off the debt ceiling during his last term. That's something Republicans run on, not what they actually do. And this person says, why can't Trump ever just tweet something normal? No need to go off on some tangent that has nothing to do with Christmas. Y'all, it's disturbing. These people actually take this guy seriously. I can't. All that money and he can't buy an ounce of class. Disappointing, but unsurprising. And as this commenter astutely pointed out, he said absolutely nothing about American citizens, which is...
Oh, you expect him to talk about the American citizens? Be presidential? The fact that he actually listens to Americans and focus on your struggles, the things that you have going on in your life. Come on now. He's a billionaire who shits on a golden toilet, man. Come on. A golden toilet.
Which is something that we obviously know, but Trump supporters are still finding out. But why this sudden and seemingly random barrage of attacks on other countries?
I think the reason that Donald Trump is starting all of this shit with Canada, Mexico, Panama, and Greenland, not because he's serious about it, but because the months prior to the election, MAGA Republicans and Trump himself were campaigning on, I'm going to get your grocery prices down. I'm going to get your energy costs down. And all of his supporters kept telling us, I just want to be able to afford groceries. It's about grocery prices. It's about the eggs. Well, since he's won the election, now he's claiming that he doesn't really think he can get the grocery prices down. And so I think this whole idea of wanting to do a soft invasion of Mexico and starting shit with Canada and Panama and Greenland all has to do with the fact that he's trying to distract the American public from all of the promises that he made that he knows that he can't fucking keep. He knows he can't come through on these promises. So what's the next best solution? A fucking distraction. Keep you all occupied about all this other shit so nobody's questioning him on why grocery prices aren't down, why the price of eggs aren't down. That's clearly a distraction.
Can you blame him? Is what he's saying wrong? Is what he's saying wrong? It is not a distraction. He's right. 100% a distraction. Just trying to keep you away from paying attention to the fact that he can't do nothing for you. He ran on groceries. I played the video for you already just so you can hear it. Need to hear it again? Hey, I'm all for it, brah. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does. And I have more complaints about that bacon and things going up, double, triple, quadruple.
I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time. I'm going to take them back with me. Bacon is through the roof. They're all through the roof. The milk, everything is bad. And we're going to straighten it out. We're going to bring prices way down, and we get it done fast.
Now,
Bring prices way down. We're going to get it done real fast. Bring prices way down. We can do it real fast. Sorry for the echoing because it's coming through both my speakers.
now, Trump tells Time magazine that while he wants to make groceries cheaper, it's, quote, hard to bring things down once they're up. It's very hard.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. Will be cheaper. He ain't say might be, could be, if we do everything correctly, maybe cheaper. No, he said will. Guaranteed. Now he can't guarantee nothing.
Distraction indeed. If he's running from his campaign promises, he's certainly going to need a few. Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your...
Nope. Before you can get going, you gotta do that. I hate these advertisements. Let they go ahead. Had to go ahead and get that off of there. You know, they don't pay bills here, so hey, let me go ahead and get that right back up there for y'all. Bam.
I got another FAFO at my husband's work. Yesterday, there was a corporate meeting, so all of them had to go. And before the meeting, there was about 6 or 7 of them over at the table talking a whole bunch of shit about apparently Canada maybe shutting off a little bit of our energy if these tariffs come through. And they were...
Now, just in case you don't know about that, because I'm going to make sure to give you a little bit of heads up about that. So, Canada is one of our largest energy producers, not just gas, as electricity, solar power, things like that. Energy is not just gas. So it gives us as Americans, energy at a cheaper rate. This is, if I remember correctly, a trade deficit. See, this is why you gotta pay attention to certain words. A trade deficit may not actually sound bad, even though you hear that negative word of deficit. That just means that they're getting more in than we're taking in. We're giving them more out than they're giving. But that means that, okay, what about that? So let's say we're trading with them. We're trading with Canada. And we're giving more out than they're giving us. Sounds bad. But then you realize that the stuff they're giving us is things like energy. And they're giving us that at a cheaper rate. Right? That's a good thing. So we may be at a deficit in actual products going back and forth, right? But what we're getting in exchange is more valuable than what we're giving out to them in exchange. Because not all trade deficits are bad. And that's the thing Trump doesn't tell you. Go ahead and let that continue.
Were losing their mind. And my husband didn't skip a fucking beat, apparently. Looked across the room and said, all of you can shut the fuck up. Y'all fucking voted for it. For the next 4 years, I don't want to hear a single fucking word of anything that man does that you don't agree with. One of them had the balls to presume that Joe Biden's behind this. My husband had to let them know that Joe Biden isn't the one threatening the tariffs to Canada. He's not a political guy, and he doesn't normally open his mouth when he has words in confrontation. He's not that guy. But apparently, these dumb motherfuckers, he has had enough. I love him a little bit more today.
Low income.
So, yes. About that. As you've seen, people who are not even political are starting to get involved in this because MAGA morons are just being MAGA morons. As you've seen, right there, evidence in your face. They will do everything in their power to blame anyone but Donald Trump. Really? How is it not Donald Trump? Like, Biden isn't the one going back and forth trying to get into actual warfare with Mexico, asking how much it would cost to actually invade Mexico. Trump did that. Trying to have some type of turf war with Canada, talking about purchasing Canada, doing the same thing with Panama and Greenland. All this is Donald Trump. He has control of his own self. He can stop this whenever the hell he wants and act presidential. Like he got brain cells in his head. If he wanted to.
Low-income Trump supporters who voted for him just last month are begging Trump to not cut their benefits. Since Trump has frequently made grand promises to protect Social Security, Medicaid, and other benefits, his voters are beginning to become concerned with the growing list of Trump's billionaire cabinet. Pennsylvania Trump voter Lori Masura has a message for Trump. She says, "We helped you get into office. Please take care of us. Please don't cut the things that help the most vulnerable." Lori lives below the poverty line and receives $1,200 a month in food stamps and Social Security benefits. Steve Tilia, another Trump voter who receives $1,900 in Social Security and food stamp payments, is actually optimistic about cuts to the departments that help them make ends meet. Steve says, "It's not cutting government programs, it's cutting the amount of people needed to run a program. They're cutting staff, which could actually increase the amount of programs that we get." Sorry, I had to stop filming because I was laughing maniacally. Literally lost my breath for a second. I would pay good money to check back in with Steve in like 3 years. But
Listen to that. He believes that it's a good thing that they're going to be cutting programs, funding to programs, not knowing that if you get rid of the staff, that means it's less people to work on cases and less people to get funding because they won't be able to spread the money around. That means your funding will be cut. And yes, they are talking about this. Doge, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy, a pharmaceutical giant and the richest man on planet Earth, is talking about cutting off your funding to most critical things like Medicare, Medicaid, and food stamps. And veteran care. They're talking about getting rid of that stuff. They rich as hell. You're not. Hey, all well.
But apparently, local Republican officials are begging the Musk administration to leave benefits alone. Chris Fry, a New Castle City administrator, said, "I think it would be stupid to just take something away. We would have mass chaos, mass homelessness." So basically, they're worried that the changes would be catastrophic. And this is what we mean when we say that Trump supporters are actually going to be the ones that suffer the most, because they live in red states that are supported mostly by blue states. They have significantly lower levels of education, and poor, uneducated white populations in Republican states that voted for Trump are the populations that rely the most on social benefits. They around, and very soon they will be finding out. And just to pour some salt in that wound, the numbers for Obamacare applications by state for 2025 were just released. And surprise,
It's right there. Y'all see it. You can see that number. 82% of these applications, Obamacare, which is Medicaid, for you guys who don't know. Medicaid. Medicare. Right there. 82% of the applications come in from red states. One of the largest ones is Florida. The state that went for Donald Trump in the largest margins next to goddamn Texas. Used to be a swing state, now not. And you see it right there. Right there with your own eyes. The states that voted for Harris, and that's California right there, by the way, the largest Democratic state, only makes up 18. No, not California alone. That's all of Harris states for S. The largest of that 18% is California. So it doesn't make up all 18% of it, but the largest portion of that 18 is California. While the largest of that 82% is Florida. You see it? It's there. You can read. It's right there. Right there. Believe it or not, Rhea Ripley, It's right in front of your face.
Surprise, 82% were states that voted for Trump, while only 18% were states that voted for Harris. So wait a minute, I thought that socialism was evil. Well, don't you worry, red states. Daddy Trump's going to cut that particular evil right out of your life.
Right next to Florida is Texas. The two biggest red states have the most Obamacare applications in there. And they're the ones that want to cut our social safety nets. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. They want the ones that want to get rid of it.
And you aren't going to have to worry about that problem no more.
We have some really big news right now. MAGA is turning on Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and others who are a part of Doge, and there is a major rift occurring right now. The debate is over H-1B visas, which grants employers the ability to hire foreign workers temporarily for highly skilled positions. And a number of tech companies, including Tesla and others, hire foreign workers from India and elsewhere for engineering jobs. And now MAGA influencers online think that Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and others are going to expand the number of H-1B visas in America, and they're upset. They're mad. In fact, Laura Loomer, one of Donald Trump's top allies on Twitter, says, quote, there is a divorce coming, likely referring to Doge and Elon Musk and Donald Trump and MAGA. Because at the end of the day, MAGA influencers don't want any more immigration, whether it's coming from South America, or from India, or from anywhere. They want Americans working these jobs. But Elon Musk and Ramaswamy are trying to explain, hey, we need immigrants to do critical jobs. This online discourse between MAGA and Musk is growing more and more fast, to the point where we may see a political fallout for Trump as a result of it. And all I can do is just grab some popcorn and watch it happen.
Nope, gotta get that off the screen. But you can see it. Right? Right before your eyes, it's happening. Talking about getting rid of immigrants and everything, but now Elon Musk is talking about how much he needs them. Elon Musk talking about how much he needs these immigrants. Oh God, but we need immigrants. You see, these immigrants do a lot for us, right? These immigrants help us. Why is it that every time a leftist says these things, MAGA put their hands over their ears, to their fingers in their ears, and not pay attention? We say we need these immigrants here so they can do these critical jobs that no American wants to do, and it'll be more expensive even if you find an American to do. And you got these immigrants coming here that want to do this work, free of their own free fruition, do this work, make a living, become a successful American, and give productivity to the economy and contribute. Now, all of a sudden, well, you know, we need these immigrants. Elon Musk is saying it. What in the world? Why? Why does he have to say it and it's different if he say it? If I say it, oh, you know, you're just for slavery. You're for slavery. Even though you want to round up all these immigrants and put them into a goddamn concentration camp. No, I want them to be able to have a pathway to citizenship so they can work, make a living like me, be productive, a productive member of society, and actually help this country. You want to deport them so you have an ethno state. It's ridiculous.
With breath that is bated. The President-elect Musk post that Aaron's referring to said investing in Americans is actually hard, really hard. It costs money and time and effort to make a person productive. It's a short-term net loss. It's easier to bring in skilled workers who might not do quite as good a job, but will work for a fraction of the cost and be happy just to be here.
That's Elon Musk directly off of X with his blue check mark, saying the exact same things that leftists have been saying this whole entire time. These mass deportations that Trump wants is not going to be beneficial at all to this country. It's going to hurt this country. Because trying to find the people to do the job that are American is going to be terribly expensive and it's going to be hard. A lot of Americans don't have the skills already developed in them to do the job that they need to do. These immigrants are coming from these countries where learning a trade is a part of their day-to-day life. They learn this stuff as infants, as, grade school kids. They get hammer and nails in their hand and start beating on boards and whatnot. By the time they come here, they already know how to do certain things. Carpentry, electrical work, handyman stuff. They already had their skills developed. And it's costly and time consuming to try to teach Americans to do this when you can get an immigrant that already knows it. And you can pay them less than you do an American citizen. And they'll be grateful for that money and use that money to be productive members of society. But no, let's round them up like cattle and deport them.
Sounds like he's saying the quiet part out loud. This isn't the only thing that he tweeted either that's gotten him in hot water with MAGA. He also said, of course, my companies and I prefer to hire Americans, and we do, as that is much easier than going through the incredibly painful and slow work visa process. However, there is a dire shortage of extremely talented and motivated engineers in America. This is not about handing out opportunities from some magical hat. You don't get it. This is blindingly obvious when looking at NBA teams, as the physical differences are so obvious to see. However, the mental differences between humans are far bigger than the physical differences.
Oh, it's about to pop up. I was going to let it go. I was going to stop there, but she did get the video. Oh, good. So I don't have to explain this. Because I was about to say, I can explain that this is actually racist.
The average uneducated American will look at that tweet and not realize that he basically just admitted to being a racist. He said, look at the NBA teams, look at the races of the NBA teams and see how much stronger they are. But when you look at races and you look at people's minds, they're not strong based on that. He's like, I'd rather hire people from America. He means white people. But I had to hire other non-white people, even though I know that white people are more intelligent. That's what his...
Exactly. I was about to say the exact same thing. I'm glad she actually got that video because I was going to have to explain this to you guys. Yes. He said, look at the NBA. Their bodies are built. And he's talking about black people, right? Even though there's white people in the NBA, he knows that. He's not going to come out there and just say black people. But we know when you mention sports like football, basketball, you're mostly focusing on black people. So he's looking around saying, look at these black people over here. Right? Look at these black people over here. They are physically bigger and stronger than your average, than your white man. But, when I need somebody who's smart, I'm going to go after the smart white people.
His tweet said.
That's unsurprising, seeing as Musk's family were fervent Nazi supporters and moved to South Africa from Canada because they truly believed in apartheid. But Musk just caught himself in a catch-22. For example, Black Americans aren't inherently more adept at sports or singing. It's just that the physical nature of those talents is harder to exploit or steal compared to intellectual ideas, physical labor, art, or patents, which were historically stolen from them because it was legal to do so. This parallels the way many husbands historically took credit for their wives' intellectual contributions, and many staples of American culture today reflect this exploitation. Musk acknowledged himself in his tweet that America lacks the intellectual resources needed to stay at the forefront of technology. despite preferences for certain appearances in leadership. I'm hoping that this is a revelation for some of you, and I really need you to focus for a minute. If someone with Elon Musk's worldview says he's forced to hire foreigners and ethnic people despite his extremely far-right beliefs, he is saying that the types of people he wants to hire don't have the sauce. He's basically saying that the people that look like him aren't good enough for his company. And here is a core issue with MAGA, because they want to go back to a time where the only time they felt great was when they were able to steal everything from women and minorities. But if the majority of your self-worth is tied into your identity as a white person, not only are you doing yourself a disservice for yourself as a human being, but in order to feel any type of self-worth, that means that you always need somebody to look down on. It's a type of poetic irony I'm so glad never found me, because it's a type of illness that keeps people from voting in their own self-interest, that keeps them poor from having good health care, voting Trump into office. Trying to hurt others only in turn hurts yourself. If you need to keep others down in order to feel great, that means that you were never great.
Am I wrong?
And she's not wrong about this. No. Gotta go ahead and get that off the screen. Can't have an advertisement. Bam. But is she wrong? She said, we don't have health care, universal health care, because racism. Seriously. And it's true. Racism. Free college is gone, because we had it here in America, by the way. And that was taken away from us because of racism. Black people started going to school for free, and a bunch of these racist people didn't want to go to school with black people. They knew black people didn't have the money because, again, when you're white, you have all the jobs and hiring process. So you are the one who decides to hire black people or not. There was no rules, regulations around you having to hire black people. Don't forget that. So what you're going to do, all right, since I know white people have money, I'm just going to say it costs us just a little bit to come here. All right, all you white people, it's going to cost just this much to get here. That's why we had affirmative action, because they will make it, it's cost this much, knowing just how much the average white family would have. And if they didn't, they worked with them to get it. They didn't do that with black people. Yeah. Just let you guys know that.
There's some last minute things, so I call it the jungle because it was crazy. And they were putting their coins, this family was putting their coins into a machine to get money. The father actually said, we're trying to get money for groceries. So I went up to the mother. I said, excuse me, ma'am. She turned around. She had on a shirt. It had Trump on there. Fine. But at the bottom, it said, make America white again. So with that, I decided I'm not going to pay for your groceries. I was going to give them like $200-$300 because I come from humble beginnings. But the fact that you had that on, ask somebody else to help you.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the FAFO is still in full effect.
In an article published today, the leader of the Abandon Harris movement is now anxious about Trump's appointees, saying that it's very troubling. Just for reference, these were the people that voted for Trump because he told them that he would bring peace to the Middle East. Another one of these voters posted on Twitter that even though he voted for Trump, he's tired of being called a foreigner. He says, who do you consider a foreigner? Is someone who's lived in the U.S. legally for over 25 years, paid taxes, become a doctor, follows Christ, and serves the veteran community more than the many born in the U.S., and is a true patriot still a foreigner? I have proudly voted for President Trump 3 times. I've actively discussed the importance of this election and its global consequences with the Iranian American community. I do not appreciate being labeled simply as a foreigner. Simply put,
you're a foreigner. Because they don't value you. They see anyone that looks like you as a foreigner. Doesn't matter you're here 25 years, 50 years, a million years. You are a foreigner. You are only important to them for your vote. I don't understand this craziness of trying to be the token good one that you always see with these minorities trying to cozy up to white supremacy. They don't see you as anything but a useful idiot. An emphasis on idiot. They want you to vote for Trump, and once Trump wins, they toss you away to the wayside. Thank you for your vote, idiot. Now get out of here.
Well, sugar tits, take that up with Daddy Trump. It's him and his people trying to roll back birthright citizenship and the rest of your MAGA voter friends. You were never going to be picked, except for maybe Trump's plan for mass deportation on day one of his presidency. Thoughts and tariffs, shop my line below. And in today's episode of extremely obvious things that literally everybody knew, the Trump campaign is refusing to pay its bills for its rallies in the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Despite Trump not being able to hold rallies in cities for doing this exact thing in the past, even stealing from children who performed at his own rallies, no one is to blame for this other than the leadership in the city of Grand Rapids. This isn't a fool me once or twice. This is a fool me 1,000 times. Dumb shit.
The city of Grand Rapids says the Donald J. Trump for President campaign 2024 refuses to pay nearly $50,000 in bills for the 2 rallies in the city this year.
That's forcing the city to write off those expenses as uncollectible and reevaluate its policies for future campaign visits.
It's highly unusual to have outstanding bills, especially with someone who clearly had raised enough money for the campaign to pay their bills.
The city billed the Trump campaign more than $16,000 for his visit on November 4th, his last rally of the campaign, most for overtime for public works, also unpaid. Then there was Vice President Kamala Harris's rally in October at Riverside Park in Grand Rapids. City officials say her campaign paid that $2,800 tab up front.
Donald Trump not willing to pay his bills, but here's Kamala Harris. Paid it up front. What do you want as a worker? You working for a business. The guy who will look at you dead in the eye, know he has to pay you money for work that you did, even overtime work, and say, "Hey, out of here, get out of here." Paying that. Or the person that will pay you up front for the work that you're doing. You see, this is what happens when you actually listen. You see? That's what happens when you actually listen. I don't understand. Just don't. But hey, FAFO, they're going to keep finding out. They fucked around, and they now find out the level of fuck around they did was high. It was a steep price to pay. And now the find out portion is happening. He's not even in office yet, y'all, and it's still happening. What's going to happen, when he gets into office and actually starts following through on those, on those promises? The person that was a foreigner, voted for Trump 3 times. What are you going to do when ICE comes knocking at your door and you wondering why am I getting deported? I've been here for 25 years. There's no other place on planet Earth that I know of but here. And they take you to a concentration camp. What are you going to do? You're going to have to accept it. Don't forget, he's for taking away your guns. Yeah, Trump said it. We can take away the guns. So he's going to take your guns away. So you won't be able to defend yourself and deport you and put you in a concentration camp. We tried to give you the warning. Now it's time for us to sit back and laugh. Schadenfreude. When you take delight in other people's, misery. We about to hit some Schadenfreude over here on the left. Yeah, we're going to be miserable too, but, hey, you seen. Who's on those social welfare programs more? Left-leaning states or right-leaning states? those right-leaning states. Okay? Y'all made your bid. It's time for y'all to lay in it. Or this is going to be the end of the podcast. Deuces. Later, guys.